And the banks love it because they know after your mortgage, a lot of people's next payment is their utility payment.
Mm-hmm.
So they like these. So if they see that you're going to have a home without a $200 or $300 a month utility payment, to the bank, it makes the asset more valuable. And
Mm-hmm.
to the new buyer, it's neat to get a net zero home. It's more exciting for them.
Welcome to Home Green Homes Podcast. I am Izumi Tanaka, a green home advisor and a green realtor. Here I invite a variety of experts in the world of green homes and have conversations about how we can all live in healthy, resilient, and efficient homes. My guests provide insight in a wide range of topics, from designing, building, and living in green homes, purchasing or financing green homes and improvements, to how we can live to reduce the negative environmental impact from the way we live. My goal is to inspire and inform you about how we can make a difference in our own lives and our environment. So hello everyone, I am Izumi Tanaka with Home Green Homes. Today I have a guest named Steve Nauert from Green Mortgage Advantage. Well, the company name tells it all. So I'm going to have Steve explain who he is and what he does. So Steve, go ahead and tell me about you, what you do.
Thanks, Izumi. Maybe we better start how I got here. I started as a realtor, which I still am, and they started training realtors a couple years ago about home energy efficiency. I wasn't aware of it at all. And I took a couple classes in it, and I realized that the homes, the way they used to design them, they designed it so you would have air leaks in it and the air would flow. And then what happened was they realized that we were spending too much on our utilities, heating and cooling our houses, and then the air inside the home would just leak out. So we would spend all our time heating the air and then losing it. It was running up our utility bills. So the purpose of the training was to show us basically how to audit a home, but how to seal up a home almost like a thermos. So the air that was inside, you could hold that for a while. Then they told us different techniques. So then from there, I started telling my clients as a realtor, hey, let's do this and let's try this. And I did a website where you could log on and figure out all the different options of what to do. But then I thought, well, that's not quite enough. Somebody's got to figure out how to finance it, because at the end, it's all got to be paid for. And then I got a lender's license. That's where the Green Mortgage Advantage comes around. And we've obtained two lenders where you can actually, we'll go over this in more detail, I'm sure, but in your purchase or in your refi, you can get your house all tuned up, add your solar panels and go to net zero, and then finance it over 30 years and write off the interest. So when I saw that, I said, boy, this is the ticket and what we should be doing. So that's kind of why we're sitting here today.
Well, thank you so much for that. So tell me, I have been looking for mortgage lenders who can really speak about the green products that are out there, which are few, and not too many mortgage brokers can talk about this, let alone do they know about some of those
Yes.
programs. So can you share with us what kind of green mortgage products that are out there?
Sure. A lot of it depends on the loan, and the government has really tried to make it available. So for instance, in a VA loan, you can get an immediate $6,000 without doing anything. So you get a VA loan, you can tack on $6,000 and use it for, let me just go over the energy efficiency while we're on that. So you could use it for insulation in your home, changing out the windows, sealing up the doors. You could use it for a combination of things. So VA 6,000, and that's a zero down, as you know, and on a FHA loan, which is 3.5% down, you can spend $35,000 on it. And you can include, you can do your landscaping and just a combination of things to go green included in your 35,000 extra. And then in a regular loan that you would get from that B of A doesn't do it, but in a regular loan, you can put in green components and you can put it in a refi or a purchase. While we're talking about this, I'm going to go through the process if you don't mind. So if
No.
you were buying a home, you would lock it up, and then we would bring in a inspector. It's a 203k inspector. He would take a look. He kind of represents the banks, and he would take a look at the home and write down kind of an audit what can be done. Then you bring in a contractor. He would say, hey, let's do this. This is the price. You would mesh both of these together. And then I have found two lenders, and believe me, I looked around for quite a few that they call it, I'm trying to remember the name of it now. I'll get to it in a minute. Anyway, they wholesale these loans to us. So they take the contractor report and the inspector report, see if it makes sense. And then you can add that into your purchase. So you might be buying a $500,000 home and decide to re-insulate, redo the roof, insulation that comes to $22,000. They'll send an appraiser out, and this was difficult too. You have to get the appraisers trained in the actual added value of what you're doing. So they'll send an appraiser out. He'll say, gee whiz, these improvements are worth $20,000. The house is actually worth $520, not $500. So then you will actually close escrow. You'll own the home, and the day after, the contractor will come in, start doing the work. I think you have 60 or 90 days to get all the work done. And the 203k guy and the contractor will work together with the lender. It's kind of and you just stand back. You don't do anything as the homeowner, and the bank will control giving the contractor the money. You're not in any pressure in any way. You just have the bank and kind of the bank dealing with the contractor saying, let's get this done. And then you do a final inspection and you're on your way.
Right. So is somebody from the bank actually is involved in the process, or who's the one that's supervising?
The 203k inspector does, and anyway, there's 203k inspectors, and they're licensed and they know what they're looking for, and the bank trusts the 203k inspectors on this. They write up a specific report, and then the bank will have a rehabilitation. Well, the two I'm dealing with, they'll have a rehabilitation department. They'll have people that are familiar with and know the cost. So that department, then your regular loan will flip to these guys in this department, and then they will be working with the 203k inspector and the contractor making the payments. The homeowner just says kind of, I'm signing off on it, this is good. And then the bank holds all the money in escrow after you close and releases it to the contractor when the 203k guy says it's all complete and it looks good.
Right. So I have a couple of questions from what you said. So who are the O3k inspectors? I honestly have not heard that term.
You can look it up. I talked to a guy, and you can look it up. But if you go to
are they energy auditors, or are they general
they're not specific. They're not specifically energy auditors, but the 203k is a program where they do rehabs.
I see.
It doesn't have to be energy in the FHA. It just can be if you have to do a new kitchen or something. So we're taking that program and then we're adding energy efficiency. But they're a licensed inspector.
I see.
And you can get I can't remember what I looked up, but if you go on Google and go 203k, you'll actually talk to a fellow. I think he's in Phoenix or something, and he's got a crew of these all over the country that do this, and they work with the two banks.
I see. So is this particular mortgage you talked about, is that the one of the FHA program? Is it EEM, the energy efficiency mortgage? Or I'm also aware of both Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae having products called, one is Green Choice, I think that's Freddie.
Yes, that's correct.
Fannie Mae is Home Style loans.
That is exact. You know more than you think you know. Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
But the issue breaks down. What makes it confusing is there's one program. It's all that 203k guy, but the VA's got a program, the FHA program, and then the other two, the Green Mortgage Advantage and the Home Style Mortgage. They're all kind of different government programs, so you approach each one in a different way, but you're getting to the same result.
I see. I see. So this is when you were, what you described is when a buyer is purchasing a home, you can tack
Yes,
on to the improvement cost onto the purchasing mortgage, correct? So
that's exactly right. Or if you're refinancing, you can do the same thing.
I see. Uh-huh. And so you're refinancing an existing mortgage, but instead of just paying off what your existing balance is, you can use some of the equity and refinance it so that you can do the improvement, but
Yes,
specifically for energy efficiency or what we call green features. Is that correct?
that is precisely right. And the
Mm.
banks love it because they know after your mortgage, a lot of people's next payment is their utility payment.
Mm-hmm.
So if they like these, so if they see that you're going to have a home without a $200 or $300 a month utility payment, to the bank it makes the asset more valuable, and
Mm-hmm.
to the new buyer, it's neat to get a net zero home. It's more exciting for them.
Mm-hmm. So
So you're
there,
really, sorry,
mhm. Go ahead to finish.
you're really bringing some value. And
Right.
what they figure, one of the statistics I read that the appraisers use is each dollar saved is worth $20. It's really a
Right.
5% return is what they figure out. So if you can save a buck, it's worth $20. And that's why I'm just going to briefly do the math if you don't mind.
No.
You're cool with that? If
Yes.
you take your utility bill and you figure out how many kilowatts you use a month, the average home in the United States uses about 900 kilowatts. It's about
Okay.
18 cents a kilowatt. But anyway, you take a whole year of that, and the average home is about 10,000 kilowatts a year. The average price of solar is $3 a kilowatt. So you would multiply, say, gee, I need a $30,000 system. It's either a 29 or 25% government rebate now. You would discount that. And
Mhm.
then I'm just saying for your viewers, you would go online and you could go to my website, but you would go online and you would say, I wonder what extra rebates I can get. And
Mhm.
then you'd pile in rebates. If you're in Riverside or wherever you are, there's different programs, and they will then reduce your costs, so to speak. And then you would come in and you would add insulation. You would seal the doors and windows. I keep going over the same thing.
Mhm.
No LED lights, and you can even do landscaping. I don't know if you're aware of this, but 1,000 square feet of lawn is
Mhm.
50,000 gallons a year to keep it
Yeah.
green. 50,000 gallons a year and 1,000. You can come in and you can even redo your landscape. So between
Sure.
your water and all that, you can actually drop your bill 30 or 40% before you get the solar.
Yeah.
So if you drop your bill 30 or 40%, finance it over 30 years and get a good deal on solar, you can actually create a profit, believe it or not. It
Mm.
won't just be a wash, it will be less expensive. And on a 30-year mortgage, you can write off the interest. You can
Right.
imagine this. So you can really do something at this period in time with the low interest rates and everything. It's a terrific time to go net zero, and it's
Mhm.
valuable to you.
Mhm. Now, so we were talking about landscaping, insulation, and whatnot. So
Yes,
can that money used for what we consider traditional improvement, like say for, typically when people think about renovating homes, they're thinking about doing the kitchen, get new kitchen
yes,
counter, kitchen cabinets, or bathrooms and stuff
yes,
like that.
yes,
And obviously, all these both kitchen and bathroom can have what we call green or sustainable material, but
yes.
not necessarily related to energy efficiency. So can people use this loan to include not only the energy efficiency improvement, but also what we call, what we consider typical improvement in the upgrading of the homes? Can they do that?
Yes, you're exactly right. Actually, the energy efficiency is piggybacking on the loan you're talking about.
Right.
So that loan exists. Everybody wants that, but we're piggybacking, finding the appraisers, and the lenders will say, hey, let's go one step further and get net zero. So the
Right.
answer is yes. While you're on that topic, I'm not hawking my website, but it's called The Green Retrofit. If you log on, and I started researching this, they've got just mind-blowing stuff. They've got paint you can put on your home that reflects the heat. So I live in Riverside. I have a gun that I put on, and I go up to 130, 140 degrees on my wall. There is a paint, and you can take 30 degrees off that. There's something you can put on your windows to hold the heat.
Sure.
When you're repainting your bathroom, you can use paints that don't, what they call off gas. So you can use
Right.
paints that don't
DOC.
off gas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You
Mm-hmm.
can do all this stuff through that and make it healthy, which is
Right.
really what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
Make it more healthy and comfortable at the same time you're going energy efficient and doing your remodel.
Exactly.
That's really what this is about.
Yes, I understand it. And I am so grateful that there are such things available out there. But so my biggest question when I'm dealing with clients, buyers, and owners, how competitive are those products? I mean, you know, this last year or so, we've seen some record low interest rate, right? I mean, I've
Yes,
had buyers locking in at 2.6%,
phenomenal.
right?
Yes,
So,
phenomenal. Yes,
so when there are all these loans available at such a low rate, I mean, even though it's creeping up a little bit now, I mean, how competitive are those what we call green mortgages? I mean, what would motivate the home buyers or homeowners to use this product as opposed to regular, say, refinancing a mortgage or even HELOC? Because if you refinance, people can just get some money out anyways, right?
yes, yes.
Right. So what is the competitive edge of the green mortgages?
The green mortgage might cost you a 16th more, it might not. These
Uh,
are all the same loans and they're all based on the 10-year treasury. So there's
right.
no real extra, there's just a little extra paperwork. And one of the reasons you don't hear about it is, as I said, it goes to another department and a group of guys and they have to do more.
Right.
This last period of a couple of years has been a dream for lenders because there's nothing to do but just bring in a loan and give them a rate and they've been so busy. But to get the green is more effort for everybody, but it pays off. Now, if you have a $200 bill, hypothetically, and again, I did the math on this on my website,
Mhm.
you have a $200 electric bill now, and you come in and reduce it 40%,
Right.
finance it over 30 years, you're going to be under half. So you're at 100 or 100 and whatever ahead every month. And then I always say to people, the ticket to retire is, I don't know if your viewers know this, if you have an electric car, it costs you 3 cents a mile roughly to power. And if you have a gas car, it's about a dime a mile. So there's quite a difference. So if
Mhm.
you went all the way, reduced it, did over a 30-year loan and added an extra 5 solar panels, got rid of your gas car and brought in an electric car, I'm not trying to sound like a nut here, you would actually get rid of your gas bill, apply it to your car payment. You've now lowered your utility bill, you've lowered all your expenses, and you're on the road to retirement.
Oh, I am with you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the little premium you might pay is it's a dream. Most electric bills go up about 7% a year. I don't know if you know the rule of 72, but that is divide whatever the interest rate is into, now that into 72, and that's how long it takes to double your money. So a 7% hike every year in a utility bill means in 10 years it's going to be a $400 bill, not a $200 bill. So if you
Right.
could preserve your savings for that 10 years, it is a dramatic amount of money. You'll be ahead.
Mhm.
So there might be a 16th of a point, there might be a small margin, but it's so much more compensated by
Yeah.
getting the savings now. I think it's worth. Plus, we go back to comfort. I want to
Yeah.
digress a minute
Yeah.
about programs. I called the electric company. I'm at Edison in Riverside. They had a group of 3 guys come in, and one guy is changing LED light bulbs. One guy's running to each door and sealing the doors. One guy goes to each plug-in and he puts a rubber thing there so there's no leaks. And then they put in a thing called a master cool, which is a swamp cooler. I don't know if everybody's familiar with that, but it's the system that water drains over. It used to be overstrung and you blow on it.
Mhm.
They put in a master cool that's worth $800. It's like living in a Hilton hotel. When the temperature gets down to 95 in the afternoon, I turn the air conditioner off and we open a window this much. I've got a 2,500 square foot home. So
Mhm.
I turn on, I open a window this much upstairs, 2,500 cubic feet a minute come in, and I can go from 95 to about 78, 77 in 15 minutes, and it runs at a
Wow.
quarter of the cost of my air conditioner. So I'm running this, I'm listening to my neighbor's air conditioners running all day and all night long. And I'm running a master cool at a quarter of the price, and it's luxurious. So the brand is Master Cool. For a while, Edison was giving rebates, so it was only $400 to put one of these in. So
Wow.
that's why I say go on and you look at your town and say what are the green rebates and see what those are. Add all that up, and it's just a golden time to be green.
Right. So how come I don't, I mean, you contacted me and
Yes,
introduced yourself. I'm a green nut like you. And
yes,
so,
you are.
yes, right? So we're both green nuts,
Yes,
right? But
yes.
why is it that so many mortgage brokers don't even know about it? I mean, it sounds like a really feasible products that they can be
Yes.
promoting.
Um,
What is your take on this?
I am fascinated with this as you are, and I went on to Wikipedia
Hmm.
and I typed in what is the resistance to green? You know, psychologically, what is the resistance? And I won't bore you with this,
Right,
but basically, we're just made to deny it and put it in. We have a combination of things in our personalities that we will not face this. It's just
right.
human nature. And
Hmm.
as I said, I was at a brokerage and we had 60 realtors there. And this is when I was doing the drought tolerant gardens, and I'm in Riverside. I mean, it is hot. And I
Yeah,
would say, let's do these. And by the way, there was a $2.50 rebate that you all might be able to get. Again, look it up. They gave you $2.50 to go green, so it was free. You could put a beautiful rock garden. It was free, but there was just, as you say, there's a resistance there, and not a unwilling to look at the future and say this might be a problem, something we can do. Hey, I got to mention this too, and I don't mean to keep getting off track. It takes a pound and a third of coal to produce a kilowatt. That means if you own a regular home and you're burning 10,000 kilowatts a year, about 900 a month, you're burning 10,000 pounds of coal a year. So
right.
if you were to go net zero, imagine that contribution. That's 10,000 pounds of coal for the rest of your life in one house. You're actually doing something and becoming more comfortable while doing it.
Yeah. Well, so that's what I am learning as a real estate agent, specializing in green homes. Like if we talk about the problems, people don't want to hear
Yes,
it, right? So, but
agreed.
if we talk about the benefit,
Yes,
right, of
yes,
the energy efficiency or healthy homes,
yes.
then people can hear it because after all we are all kind of thinking about ourselves and what is it what's there for us, for me.
Yes,
So
yes,
we can save money, but at the same time we can have a healthy, comfortable home, and then people can hear, okay, yeah, I want that, right? So
yes.
it's up to you and me to talk about not the problem but the benefits, how it's
Totally
going to
agree.
help. And this, and as I say, the sub product, or the uh, what is it, the consequence
Yes,
of this is that we're helping the environmental issues, but
yes.
not, I think if we come from that place of environmental issues or problems, then it can definitely alienate some people who are not willing to listen, you know.
Agreed.
So what do you think we can do? Like, do you have any suggestion for you and me so that
Yes,
we can we can we can encourage homeowners and buyers to do this kind of improvement in their homes that can be really beneficial for people?
I have been trying, trying. I was doing open houses and I had two sheets and one was a better way to buy a home and a better way to sell. And I would tell them all this and they would look at me and just nod. But I think in the frenzy of course, the market changes. But in the frenzy of I've got to get a house or I've got to do this, that's pushed out and
Mhm.
they're afraid of it. So I don't know. I have tried and tried. The other thing is, and you have to remember this, and I read this, the new group of buyers is looking for net zero. I mean, this is
Oh yeah.
coming. All the new homes are now net zero. That means if you've got a home that's 30 years old competing against a newer home that's net zero, you
Right.
can see what one's going to sell faster.
Sure.
So, and you can see what one's worth more. So if you make your changes and go net zero, that might be worth another 20, 25,000 anyway to
Mm-hmm.
you and to the next buyer. So faster turnover on the market. There's a combination of things, but when you get into real estate, as you and I both know, each piece of real estate is unique, each loan is unique, and each buyer is unique. And it's a very, I haven't found a generalized way to go. And I am advertising now heavily Green Mortgage Advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting hits on my website, but I don't get a lot of follow through. It's just it seems to be a way we're made. I don't know. And I don't know if this heat wave is going to make people more aware or not. I do know I am thrilled to have my master cool running at 5 every day in the afternoon at a quarter of the price. So that has made me more aware. And I'll tell you, I am appreciative of it.
Yeah. Well, I think it's going to require a coordinated or collaborative effort between you and me and
Yes.
other people who are in this field of residential home market, whether it's mortgage broker like yourself or builder architects, builders who are actually building, and we really need to learn how to speak about this,
Yes.
right?
I
So
agree.
yeah, and I really appreciate that you're willing to be talking to me today. What is your forecast in the market that's coming up? Like you were saying that now more people are going to be wanting net zero, but
Yes.
what are you seeing in the market right now? Like, are you doing a lot of mortgages for conventional buyers, or are you getting interest people looking to make improvements?
I am fit. Regular buyers are there. Although in my market, again, I'm in Canyon Lake. We usually have 105 homes available. Then
Hmm.
we've been at 30 forever, and now we're at 45. So I'm
Wow.
wondering, I mean, whatever those numbers are worth, I'm just telling you, usually you just plateau, as you know. So
Mm.
the action is crazy for the refi and the regular, but
Right.
to actually find the green person takes a lot of mining and is very difficult. And I'm working on it, and I have not solved it. I wish we could solve it, but I haven't. To get in touch with that person and use the right language and get that click, I have not solved that, and I've been working on it for about 6 years, just so you know. And I know you've been working on it for a while, but it's going to be it has been an uphill battle, and I don't know that there will be a magic click. I hope 40% of the not the heat, but the energy we use is in our buildings.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what the percentage is in a home,
Hmm.
but 40% of our problem is in our buildings. So we're in the right place where we can really make a difference.
Yeah.
And but again, I haven't cracked the code, and I am really trying to do it. But
Well,
we have not cracked.
we are on the same boat. Like you and I, this is an ongoing challenge for both of us to
Yes.
really speak of the benefit. So
Yeah.
how you mentioned your website a few times. So let's just get your website
Yeah,
again.
yeah, and it
But
isn't a big deal, but it's called thegreenretrofit.com. The Green, RETROFIT.com. And if you go on there, I have the loan programs there. I have a place you can go to find the tool. You can and you can even do a home energy audit. There's a thing called a homes, again, the government program. You log on and you can audit your home and figure out what to do. But
mhm,
if I were out there watching this and wanted to know what to do, the first thing I would do is look in my attic and see how thick the insulation is. That is
right.
the number one. By the way, this is not new to me. I took the class. The Board of Realtors gives this class, and all realtors should be going to it. It's free. It is devastating. And at the end of 2 days, you'll go, gee, I just didn't know any of this. And
Mm,
you will have all these helpful pointers that you can give. But
mhm,
it's just a boatload of resources there that you can use. And
right.
then make sure you go back to there's a thing called 5 new things. I don't know if you know this. There's plants that clean the air. NASA has 8 plants that clean the air. And anyway, they have a bunch of different combinations that have all come out to kind of help us, as they say, be more comfortable and energy efficient.
And all that information can be found on the
That green
greenretrofit.com.
retrofit, yes. Or
Okay.
hours of Googling if you want. It's up to you, but most of it's there. Main thing to remember is figure out what city you're in and go rebates. There's a link for that. Go rebates, and you'd be amazed. And if you
Right.
can catch it just right, you can get a free new thermometer. If you can catch it right, you can really do yourself proud.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's so much we can do. And, I look forward to working with you
Me
in the
too.
coming years and make more homes green one at a time,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah, there's a great feeling. I was doing gardens, I think I told you. I did 30 of them, and it was free to everybody. It was $2.50 a square foot. And I calculated we're saving about 1.5 million. Not that it helps anymore, but there's about 1.5 million gallons to be saved. So anything anybody does is a big deal because it isn't just today, it's forever. I mean, it's
I
cumulative.
agree.
So yeah,
I
any little
agree.
thing we can all do. I mean, anyway, we're on the same boat here.
It counts. Well, thank you so much, Steve.
Thanks,
Again,
Susan.
this is Izumi Tanaka with Home Green Homes, and until next time.
Thanks, Susan.
If you found this podcast helpful or inspiring, please go ahead and subscribe and follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Home Green Homes.